Well, the day has finally arrived. We are in our brand new Tesla Model Y, Austin built, white interior. I'm so excited to share with you our delivery expectations. We did have a little bit of service immediately after taking delivery, where our experience kind of landed, and appreciate you subscribing and liking to the channel. So much more content coming your way as I kind of dive into the new experience of owning this vehicle. So let's start with delivery. It was exceptionally smooth. The vehicle was prepped and cleaned outside of the Indianapolis Tesla Service Center, and we were immediately greeted by our sales advisor who let us look over the vehicle and told us that we'd be signing all the paperwork and documents inside. You know, this gave us a chance to look at one of the very few Austin Model Y white interiors, very few and far between, the way we understand it. But let's be honest, it was overcast and bordering on the dusky hours of an Indiana winter, so not being able to see every flaw was challenging, but to our account, the vehicle was absolutely flawless, which kind of brings me to a brief tangent. Let's talk about checklists. We have never, in the history of any vehicle that we've ever purchased, used a checklist when taking delivery of a vehicle. Now, I know a number of people are going to jump into the comments section and post a myriad of horror stories of all the things that go wrong when you pick up a Tesla if you do not document that experience. Now, my theory is if you go in looking for a fight, you're probably going to get one. And I know a lot of people go in with that checklist. The sales advisor is already on edge. They're telling you, no, you have to do everything in the app. The only way you're going to be able to get into the interior is to be able to push the button. You're not willing to push the button because you haven't went over your checklist yet. I'm just going to ask, be patient with those folks at the service center and also go in with an open mind, knowing that almost everything that you find or everything that's discussed will be taken care of. We'll get to that in just a moment. At that point, we handed over our payment, talked to our SA briefly about the next steps, and before we left, I just had a simple question. Anything we notice in the next few days will be taken care of, right? And went to shake his hand. His response, that's right, Eddie, just do it all through the app and we'll take care of it. The entire interaction lasted maybe 15 minutes. Could have probably ran longer if we had questions or any other concerns, but our SA wished us, the best of luck. We shook hands and I was on my way. So I sat in the car for the first time, shed a brief tear, because this was a long time coming. We had saved, we had discussed, it had been something that I really looked forward to, but we hit the road with officially 3 miles on the odometer. And that first ride home was interesting. Listen, was that a whistle I heard? Is that a defect? Why does it sound like my window isn't fully closed or my tire's not inflated? Why does the car pull hard to the left on the highway? The ride just seemed rougher than I remember, and immediately, buyer's remorse, right? But after some brief panic, I decided to give it a serious look in the morning. We were going to have a nicer, sunnier day. I could clean out some of the stuff that the detailing service didn't get to and go over anything out of the ordinary and document it immediately. Our biggest issue was probably the alignment. The car's tire pressure was way off, and after inflating to kind of recommended pressures, the pull was still there and present. So I noted in the app, I requested a service appointment along with the small whistling sound that I heard on the driver's side door. I also noticed that the passenger side window jetted out a bit further than it should, fully up, which I know can be a calibration issue. It's something that's talked about on a number of forums. So I just decided, let's just document everything in the app, get it put into the service appointment, and if it's something serious, they'll take care of it. So after my full inspection, did one last lap around the vehicle, and lo and behold, there is a small indention that you can kind of notice with the front windshield where it meets the glass roof. It's very interesting, kind of like a small defect or a wave in the glass. Not overly noticeable, but enough that I figured it'd be good to just notate that as well. And although Tesla was quick to respond, there was an estimated repair bill that made me super nervous, over $1,300. But I remember I was told that everything would be taken care of if we documented it in those first few days. However, no one in the Tesla service chat was willing to commit to that, which made me a little on edge before we brought the vehicle in the next day. And the turnaround time was extremely quick. I actually walked into the service center and saw our sales advisor, who said, "Back already?" And I said, "Yeah, we just have a few things that we wanted to get looked at. They'll take care of you. I promise they'll be great." And I was invited in by one of their service advisors, who asked me to take a seat, went over each and every step of the process. His estimate was about an hour, but could be a little longer, depending on how long the alignment would take. They have to isolate that whistle. They'd look at the indentation in the windshield. So all of those little things could be just a little bit tricky. And 3 hours later, I was out the door with calibrated windows, a wheel alignment, and no more whistle. Now, that one was a bit harder to explain. He goes, it was a tricky troubleshoot by our guys in the back. They had tape all over the thing. I don't know if you saw, and I did. I was watching out the windows as they were taking my vehicle in and out of the service center, and there was green masking tape over all of the gaps. So did a really good job. He also said that the repair quotes that come in, as long as you're under warranty and the issues are documented right away, there isn't a reflection of any damage or negligence on your part, that they'll be covered in every situation. So I know a lot of folks have different experiences. This was mine. Maybe a positive piece of what Tesla service can provide. So driving off that service lot after a brief free charge, thanks to Tesla Indianapolis, was so satisfying. The car felt smoother, quieter, and what I expected from the moment I pushed the order button on the app to purchase this vehicle was exactly what I got. The whistle, gone. The alignment pull, gone. The indentation of the windshield, we just decided to document it. And here's why. If there was another full windshield replacement, let's say 2 days after I take delivery of the vehicle because of a slight indentation, I drive down the road for 10 or 15 miles and get a rock chip, there's another window replacement. Now, we have great glass coverage on our insurance, but I was very nervous about getting another windshield replaced after just getting it replaced. So we decided to let it ride. I did want it documented that it was part of what the vehicle presented itself during delivery, because if something were to ever happen, there was a leak or increased wind noise, or it got worse, that we could get it taken care of right away. So wrapping up the entire delivery day experience through our next day of service, it really did meet all our expectations. The interaction over text could use some work. I imagine not being able to commit to things in writing put Tesla really at a disadvantage, since multiple times we asked for clarification and we were really met by, well, we'll discuss everything when you get here. I don't love that. Just that small peace of mind could really go a long way, but it's the smallest of nitpicks, since all of our concerns were addressed and taken care of so quickly. With that being said, this vehicle is a dream to own, a dream to drive. We had a great experience. We couldn't be happier with what comes next. And as you can probably see in some of these videos, the vehicle looks fantastic. We have added some must-have accessories, which I'll be filming a video shortly about. As always, thanks for being here. Comment, like, subscribe, and enjoy the next few videos as we document what comes next.